Well, hey guys, what's going on? It's Stef here. I hope you've been well. I know I have, and it's time for another metal detecting relic hunting adventure. In this week's episode, I am metal detecting in the woods with the Minelab Manticore once again, and what at first seemed like a lackluster day turned into a really incredible one once I got home. And you will come to understand why as you watch the video. So I'm not gonna waste any more time, no spoilers whatsoever, and let's hop in. Okay, I've got a low to mid 20s signal right here. It sounds deep. It's pretty close to the line, which is good news. The bad news is it's reading 10 plus, and I gotta dig through stuff like that. That's going to be a hole full of water probably, but could be a button. We'll see. Well, what did I tell you? That's the hole. I have been digging my bare hands in there, freezing, that's why they're bright red, in order to retrieve the target. It's about 8 or 9 inches. And as you can see, let me just bend over here properly. We've got pieces of a colonial buckle, and I thought it was going to be a shoe buckle, but the pin terminal, let me see if I can get this correct, is right there. I'm on the fence. I mean, it's probably a shoe buckle, but yeah, I need to find more pieces of it. These were in the same hole. It's not a fresh break, but yeah, I'm going to stand up, recheck. If I find more, I'll let you know, but otherwise, nice buckle. It appears to be pewter plated. And the back is a brass or copper alloy. Very good. All right, we'll keep going. Hopefully the rest is down there. Okay, well, I've ventured away from those pieces of the shoe buckle, that puddle. Couldn't find anything else down there, but I did just get this signal 50 feet away. Nice and loud and proud and not too deep. Let's go for it. Okay, well, it does appear to be what I thought it might be. It was about 6 inches down as the machine indicated. Haven't touched it yet, but I see a round piece of copper or brass. So I'm assuming that's a button. Yep, you can see where the post broke off right there, the shank. And the front's probably going to be plain. Most of them are on these early to maybe mid-1800s flat buttons. I do apologize for the road noise, but the site is right on the side of the road in case you haven't figured that out by now. So yeah, all right, keeper. Okay, this was a weird one. I should have filmed the target, but because I'm so close to the road, I'm trying to spare you guys the road noise as much as I can. It was like a 55 to 60 signal. And when I opened up the hole, I couldn't hear it anymore. Put the dirt back on top, packed it down, swung over again, I could hear it. And I knew it was a deep target, so I thought, okay, well, that's weird. And the thing about that you have to remember is that once you disturb the dirt, the signal can go away even though it's right there in the open plug. It is bizarre. It is not unique to the Manticore. I've had every machine I've owned do something similar. So not faulting the machine. And I got a musket ball out of the deal. That one's definitely not fired. Probably freshly made it. They made a lot of musket balls here. And I know they made them here because I have actually found the discarded brass, or discarded lead that would have been on top of the mold. So a big long sprue, basically, because these were cast in a mold with like 6 of them next to each other. I'll put an example on the screen right now because I don't think I ever have. So very cool. That's a maybe a 58. I don't know. I can't decide. But beautiful little musket ball. We'll keep moving. Okay, well, you see this big stone. You'll see a rounded stone next to it. That's actually the well. I am between the cellar and the well. And I just got this signal. Sounds like something promising. Probably more lead, but we'll take it. Okay, well, that took a little while because I was also digging out a bunch of nails with this, but finally have it here. Can I feel the shank? Yeah, I can. Yes, I sure can. Is there something on there? It's always the $1,000,000 question, isn't it? Let me see if there's anything on this, and I will come back either way. Well, I'm glad I committed to coming back and showing you this because I don't know what I have here. So the back is designed like a late 18th century tomback button. You've got this little blob here with the shank, and sometimes these don't come out shiny, so I thought, okay, maybe that's what I have. And there's nothing on the front, which is, typical tomback buttons do not really have designs. Very few of them will have like an etched flower or snowflake pattern, but not many of them. In any case, I re-beeped it out of the hole. It's a 54. I've had farthings and half cents come up in that range. Not tomback. This is a thicker one than usual, but I'm almost wondering if it's like a lead pewter alloy. Interesting. Okay, well, I didn't film this target. It only came up a 9 or a 10, which is often a 22 bullet casing. And it was only coming up a couple inches deep. When I pulled it out, and we have a relic from the 1700s. You can see a shank post there. This is a very old pewter button. Not much left to it. Well, it's a keeper, but it's not a display piece, I'll tell you that much. Still, great sign. Okay, place your bets. A nickel, a button, a pull tab, or something else. Let's find out. Well, if you thought it was a button, you thought correctly. There we go. Looks like it's going to be another plain one. Maybe not. I'll have to take a better look at that. And no shank, I don't think. Yeah, there's just a little shank post. I was trying to decide if it was a small coin for a second. I couldn't feel the shank post. But yeah, if I clean it up and there's something on there, I'll come back. But otherwise, we'll just keep poking around. Kicking myself right now for not filming this signal. It was about 8 inches down. It was coming up a nice loud 55, but the trace on the screen was a little bit longer on the line than what it should have been for what I just found. I haven't even touched it to see if it has a shank. That looks copper sized. No, it's got a shank. Never mind. I don't feel as bad about not filming the signal now, I guess. That has every right to have something on there. Just once, guys. Just once. And that looks colonial to me. I don't see a back mark. Let me clean this up a little bit. I'll come right back. Okay, well, I'm just coming back for the sake of due diligence because I said I would. There is nothing on this, but it's a nice size. A little bigger than a quarter. So probably would have gone on an overcoat. And again, no back mark. That's going to be 1700s all day long. Very good. I like it. Well, this sounds similar to that last button I found. It sounds big, loud, and proud. So we'll take a look at this one together. I won't make the mistake of not filming it. Good target. I guess we'll see if it's a good find, too. Ooh, I got a sneak peek of this. I wasn't trying to cheat, I promise. But I'm really glad I filmed it. Really glad I filmed the target. Look at this. Look at all that gold left. Oh my goodness. I hope I just wiped dirt on it instead of wiping the gold off. That is an exquisite button. I'm assuming it's a button. Well, I mean, we know it's not a coin, but I'm making sure it's not, horse tack. The mud is a little frozen too. Oh, no, there it goes. There it goes. We might have a shank, we might not, but that is going to get sprayed off for sure. And I'm definitely going to come back. That is absolutely gorgeous. Well, I sure wish the sun was out, but there you have it. There's a little flower design right in the middle of that. This is going to clean up very well. I think I'll use lemon juice. Sometimes I use aluminum jelly or CLR. Be quick with the CLR, by the way. If you ever use that, just use it for a few seconds and take it out. It's powerful stuff. But the front is not all that's to look at. Check out this back mark. There's an eagle at the top. Treble gilt. And they weren't kidding, because so much of the gold held up. I happen to know this back mark. I am very familiar with it. This dates it to around 1790 to maybe 1810. So, God, both sides of the button are a display piece, or display side, I should say. That is absolutely gorgeous. That is a winner right there. Nice display piece. And I should mention too, I am a ways from the home site now. I'm trying to work the outskirts, places I haven't walked over before. So I guess that's why the last couple of buttons were such shockers and big booming sounding signals to me. Because near the home site, I am down to very deep targets or iffy signals at this point, since I've been here so many times. But yeah, all right. I'll try to stop staring at this real soon and get back to swinging. As it turns out, this isn't just a pretty button. In fact, this is a fairly significant find in the world of antique buttons, and it's a rare one to boot. Born in Birmingham, England in 1728, Matthew Bolton was the son of a Birmingham manufacturer of small metal goods who died when Bolton was 31. By then, thankfully, Bolton had managed the business for several years and therefore expanded it considerably, consolidating operations at the Soho Manufactory, built by him near Birmingham. At Soho, Bolton became associated with James Watt, who is credited as being one of the industrialists to greatly improve upon the existing steam engine, with Bolton credited as the other driving force for these improvements. Once the steam engine was deemed effective and reliable, the firm installed hundreds of Bolton and Watt steam engines in Britain and abroad, initially in mines and then in factories. Bolton founded the Soho Mint, which is where he employed steam engine power to improve the poor state of Britain's coinage. After several years of effort, he obtained a contract in 1797 to produce the first British copper coinage in decades: the cartwheel 2p, penny, halfpenny, and farthing. Thanks to Bolton, these coins were well designed and difficult to counterfeit. He retired in 1800, though continuing to run his mint, and ultimately died in 1809. Now, you're probably thinking, that's neat, but where do buttons come into play? Well, Matthew Bolton actually revolutionized button backmarks and standards in the late 18th century. Buttons were another one of the many goods produced at Soho, and Bolton was the primary force behind the Metal Button Act of Parliament in 1796. Before Parliament passed the Button Act, buttons used quality marks on the back, which could ironically be misrepresentative of the quality of the button. After the Button Act was passed, however, standard marks became the norm, noting the number of times a button was gilded. In the case of my button, the treble back mark indicates that it was gilded 3 times, which probably explains why so much gold remains intact after being in the ground for over 200 years. It would have been made after the Button Act passed in 1797, and this particular button would have been made until around 1810. One of the best parts of metal detecting is diving into research once you get home, and this unassuming, though beautiful, button introduced me to one of the great minds behind the steam engine, Soho Mint, and of course, these beautiful and rare buttons. Back to the show. Well, I apologize for the road noise. It's about rush hour right now, and I am that close to the road, like 3 or 4 feet away. Just got a very loud and proud signal right here. It could be any variety of trash you can imagine, given how close I am to the road, but we'll stay optimistic. And this is why I dig it all no matter where I am. If it's a good site, even if it has potential for trash, you still have to dig it. Big dandy button. Come on, have an eagle on there. GW in the middle, anything. I found a lot of dandy buttons out here. Well, not a lot, maybe 5 or 6. For a virgin site, that's not a ton, but all of them have been plain. This one's a little bit bigger than all the rest, though. So I'm going to clean that off and come back. You guys cross your fingers for me. Okay, par for the course. It's plain. I can't understand why some of these dandy buttons, which would have looked brilliant on an 18th century overcoat, are just plain. I mean, no design at all. It would have been a golden color, even if it wasn't gilded back in the day, because this is a brass, so it would have had that shiny yellow golden color. But, yeah, some of them don't have designs. Very bizarre. Either way, great find, and I think I'll keep working along the road and just walking away for when I come back to you with the item. I think that's how we're going to work it for the rest of the day. We'll see what happens. Okay, well, it's starting to get dark, so don't have too much longer out here today. Got this signal, 39 to 41. Maybe a little lower. I think that's going to be a musket ball. That's my guess. It's kind of a messy trace. And in this particular area, I've found a ton of like pistol-sized rounds. So that's my guess. We'll see if I'm right. Yep, I called it. This one hit something with quite a force. This side's flat. It's kind of pancaked out on the edges. Alrighty, good find. I may avoid, sounds nuts, but I might avoid these signals for the rest of the day because I want to see if I can whip out a coin before the end of the day. We'll see what happens. Well, here we are. No coin that day, unfortunately, but it's because I didn't walk over them, because more coins are definitely coming from this site. Fear not. And if today's video has still interested you, and of course you want to see some colonial coinage coming up in the very near future, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss a single video upload from me. It means so much to me when you subscribe, and it helps this channel thrive, grow, and of course, it encourages me to keep making these videos for you. Now, in terms of what's coming out next week, I actually don't know yet. I have some planning that I need to do. I've got 4 or 5 videos in the pipeline, so something will be out next Monday, unlike last Monday where I got so many interruptions that I just could not finish editing this week's video. So sorry about that. But next week, without fail, we will have a video, and whatever it is, it's apt to be a good one because that's all I've got in the pipeline right now. Good footage. So hopefully that is something to look forward to, and we will see you next week.